Welcome back to episode 3. I hope you're ready to edit with me. I'm Jeanie, and today we're going to be setting up Premiere Pro so it works with you instead of against you. When you first open Premiere Pro, it should look something like this. All you need to know right now is just come over to this blue New Project button, name your project, and then make sure this is set to the location you want and click Create. You don't need to worry about this for now, just click Skip. Now it should look something like this. Now before we dive too deep, we're actually going to do some Premiere preventative care. These are settings you can check to help better optimize your computer's performance. First, go to File, Project Settings, and General. Look for Video Rendering and Playback. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you want to make sure this is set to CUDA. Now, if you're not sure what graphics card you have, there's a quick way you can figure out what that is. For a Windows computer, all you need to do is come down to your Windows taskbar, right-click, hit Task Manager, click Performance, and then right here on GPU, click this, and it'll tell you right up here what your graphics card is. And that just helps you have smoother playback, faster effects loading, and a lot less rage. Next up, you're going to want to change Premiere's default autosave settings. To do that, go to Edit, Preferences, and Autosave. Premiere's default is 15 minutes, but I recommend actually changing this to every 5 minutes. Autosave functions as your safety net. Please use it. Also, I'm a firm believer that you can never save too much, so don't forget to spam the manual save hotkey, and that is Ctrl+S. Premiere by default shows you a lot of panels. You don't need them all. This is not a Costco sample situation. You really want to maximize your screen real estate.
It's free real estate.
For the stuff you'll be using the most right now, so let's close and rearrange some of these panels. To close panels, all you need to do is select the panel, right-click, and hit Close. These are the panels that I recommend closing as a beginner: Graphic Templates, Libraries, Info, Markers, History, and coming over here, also close Properties, and then right here, close Metadata. That should leave you with something like this. To rearrange and move panels, all you need to do is select the panel you desire to move, click and hold it, and as you do that, you'll get these little purple wall things. That's trying to show you how it will land when you drop it. If you were to drop it right here, look like that. Now you can click and drag it anywhere you want, even right here. My preferred placement for the Effects tab is over here, like that. If you want to adjust the size, all you need to do is hover over the border until you get this cursor icon, and simply click and drag to make it bigger or smaller. You can also undock your panels by right-clicking and choosing Undock. This just lets them be freeform and floating, where you can have them anywhere on your screen like this. The next thing I like to change is have the project panel be to the left of the program monitor, right here. That leaves us with the toolbar right here, which we can then drag this all the way right here so that we get the most screen real estate for our timeline. Okay, once we get this looking and feeling exactly the way we want it to, we can actually create our own custom workspace layout. If you come up here to Window and Workspaces, Premiere actually has a bunch of default workspaces that are for different parts of the editing workflow. If your main focus on a project is working on the audio, they have an audio workspace template, they have a pre-made editing one, effects, and many more. But once you get yours looking and feeling the way you want it to make your own template, all you need to do is come back up here to Window, Workspaces, and click Save as New Workspace. You can name this anything you want. Or you can just name it Editing. I'm not here to judge. Now, if you're working in a project and somehow you were to accidentally close a panel, whoops, do not worry. There is an easy, simple solution for this. Come back up here to Window and select Projects, since this is the tab we accidentally closed, and boop, it'll come right back. Now, if something really catastrophic was to happen, and you have multiple panels closed, and maybe they're all messed up and jumbled like this,
Hey, what happened?
there's also another quick solution. Instead of re-adding each of those panels independently, what you can do is come up to Window, Workspaces, and reset to saved layout. This will bring back everything that you had before as it was. Now let's bring your media into Premiere. There are multiple easy ways that you can import your footage. The first one is simply to drag and drop from your File Explorer. The second one is to right-click inside the project panel, click Import, and locate your project file wherever it's saved. The next one is by using a hotkey. Pressing Ctrl+I opens the Import menu. And there's actually one more way that you can import, by coming up to File and Import right here. You can choose whichever one of these is the most efficient for you. Alright, now we're going to go over what each of these Premiere panels are. First up, this is your project panel. This is where all of your assets are stored and managed. Down here, you have multiple view icons. The first one is List View, which lists your assets like a drop-down list. This little arrow here, when clicked, twirls down and reveals all of the contents within this folder. If I want to remove something from a folder, for example, I can twirl it down, click, and drag out into this empty space. And now you can tell it is no longer in the folder. Do the same thing to re-add it by clicking, holding, and dragging until you see it highlighted and letting go. The next view mode is called Icon View, and this one just makes everything bigger, kind of more like thumbnail size. So now you can double click, and you're actually able to scrub through and get a preview of all of the footage just by hovering your mouse cursor over it. There's also a slider down here to adjust the size of your icons. The same can be done when you're in List View. While still in icon mode, you also have the option to filter through your assets with different sorting modes. Alright, the last view mode is called Freeform View, and what this does is it enables you to click and drag your assets in any way you want. For myself, I prefer List View simply because it allows me to drop down and see so much more within it than if I was running Icon or Freeform. But I know not everybody's like that, so if you prefer Icon or Freeform, totally okay. Up here, you also have a handy dandy search bar, because sometimes I have projects where I just have so many assets in here, it takes far too long to go in and manually search for it. I can just come up here, search for the sound, and it'll come right up. Also, if you need to create a folder in here, also known as a bin, that is right here. Just click that, and a folder will be created. Now we're going to talk about the program monitor. And in order to fully see this, we actually need to drag and drop something into the timeline here. And now you can see video up here. So the program monitor shows you what is in your timeline. It's going to be where you view all of your edits. So any footage, sound effects, music, all of that is going to be viewed from here. Now there's another monitor that beginners can easily confuse with the program monitor, and that is your source monitor. These two things are not the same. So when you're viewing your footage, you can actually double click it and it'll load up over here under your source monitor. The source monitor does not show your final edits like the program monitor does. What this one does is it actually just lets you preview your footage before it's been placed into the timeline. So if you have a specific moment that you're trying to look for to add to your edit, this just lets you watch through it, preview it, fast forward through it, and find the moment that you want. And then you're actually able to either completely drag the video over into your timeline, or you're able to grab little segments by creating an in and an out point, and then dragging that over. So the source monitor is for previewing your footage, and the program monitor is what you and your audience will see in your edit. Next up, we have our effects panel over here, which I'm just going to touch up on this super briefly. I plan on going more into detail on this on my future video all about effects and transitions, so be on the lookout for that one. Just to quickly explain what this is just where you will find all of your effects and transitions that you can apply to your clips. And then back over here, we have our Effect Controls tab. When you have a clip in your timeline selected, the Effect Controls tab is how you're able to adjust the position of your clip, scale, rotation, anchor point, which is just the center point of your clip, the crop, and also once you apply any effects from your Effects tab over here, those will come up over here and it will have settings where you can adjust the intensity of your effects. And then this panel over here is your audio meter. This is just what shows you what levels your audio is at, and it helps you prevent your audio from peaking. This is another thing you don't need to worry about yet, as I also plan on going more into detail on audio settings in a future video as well. My goal here is just simply to help get you familiarized with each of these tabs and to understand what each of their functions are. Uh-oh, Premiere has detected one of my clips has gone offline. Usually, this just means Premiere can't find your file because it was either moved, renamed, or deleted. To fix this, all you need to do is click Locate, and then if you moved your footage and you know where the replacement asset is, just locate the new location, find the clip, and click OK. Now, if you don't get the pop-up window and you open the project and stuff is just missing by default, then what you would do is you can tell which is offline too, because you'll see this little paper with a question mark inside of it. You just right click, hit link media, same thing, click locate, find your clip up here. Also make sure this says display only exact name matches. If you didn't rename your clip, you'll want to have that checked and it'll pull up right here. But if you renamed it something different, then you don't want this checked and you want to search for your new renamed clip. And voila! Our clip is back online. If you encounter this media offline thing, which you probably will, it's basically a rite of passage and it happens to everyone at least once, twice, maybe 3 times. It's actually more common than you think. But no need to feel bad, it happens. The most important thing is now you know how to fix it. That's it for episode 3. Your Premiere is optimized, your layout is clean, and your assets are just where they're supposed to be. In the next episode, we'll be diving deeper into the timeline, aka where the real magic happens. Subscribe if you'd like to keep going on this editing journey with me, and I'll see you guys in episode 4.